down.
Time for the real Dragon Sword power!
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Steven.
We're the Super Makerbros.
Today's build, we 3D printed the Green Rangers Dragon Dagger.
On to the build.
It's morphin' time.
Here we go.
There you go. Welcome to the build. As you can see, 3D printed Dragon Dagger.
Yeah, it looks good. What material did you print that in?
That's a engineering material called RPU 70, and it's a resin-based material.
I was about to say that is not PLA. That looks nice and smooth.
Yeah, I sanded it a little bit with really high grit just to get some of the. It does have a little bit of a build line.
Yeah. Does it sand well? Nice and smooth.
Yeah, it sands pretty nice. I mean, it's not as hard as PLA to sand.
Yeah.
The one thing I did have to do is, you see, I'm like in there with a file, trying to get some of the areas that I couldn't reach with sandpaper.
Yeah. Did you try the sanding stick or something?
Yeah. So I tried a sanding stick. The ones I have don't have labels on them, so I don't know what grit is what. So I just used an easy, like a diamond file.
Get a label.
Yeah. The one thing I was trying to put these two parts together, and as you can see, it went from day to night.
Yeah.
I was using a heat gun because the parts were warped really badly.
Why'd they warp?
Assuming I left them in the oven after it was done curing. Supposed to take them out and cool. I left them in there.
So residual heat gun.
Yeah, I guess it was continued baking.
Did the heat gun actually work on this situation?
Yeah, that is a really, really hefty heat gun. As you can see in the top, I burned the mat there.
I feel like it would have just melted the PLA, but
I used it on PLA later. But it's more of learning how to your distances. So this, I had to melt it in order to fit that piece inside of it.
Like a form?
Yeah, so it was forming because they don't fit well together, two different materials.
Yeah. I guess you still have to fill some of that gap in.
Yeah, so the gap, this was the hardest part, trying to get them together. So I just used Acro Green to try to fill in that giant seam.
Too bad the handle wasn't a one piece shot and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I could have probably in NetFab put the...
Remerged it?
Yeah, remerged, but put those... The piece that had to go inside that holds the buttons, I could have put them in there and then merged it in NetFab.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was going to work well, so I printed the halves.
NetFab's kind of wanky sometimes, or janky.
Yeah, but it's also, I printed them in halves, flat, so it was a fast build.
Yeah, because then they're like quadruple the freaking build time sometimes.
And I printed these in higher res, so it would have been like a 20-hour build.
High res? That's an amazing high res right there. Look at that. There's no layer line, no build line, no nothing.
Yeah, that's a long build too. This piece was also two halves, and I put them together. Baby powder.
I was about to say, you making cement or something here, man?
Baby powder and glue, which is Punish Props trick and Adam Savage. You fill in the giant gaps that I still had after.
How'd it work?
It worked nice in the areas where, like in between the buttons, where you can't really get in there.
Was it good for filling or smoothing?
It filled and it was easy to smooth.
And then they sanded it fine?
Yeah, and as you can see, the left part, that's not the PLA one.
Yeah.
We fixed the file and reprinted in the same material.
You should use Make Printable. That usually helps us at work.
Yeah, I mean I think it was a corrupt file, so we had to adjust it in NetFab.
That's a nice gold.
Yeah, it wound up not being the same gold because, you see, I had to reprime over it.
Yeah.
I was having a lot of issues with this. And then there you go, your paint pen.
Dude, paint pens, man, they save the day. They're great. You just gotta put a little on and let it dry, and then add and then wait for it. Yep. If you do it again, you will wipe off whatever was prior. But
yeah, I also like that the tip is flat and it's easy to do lines, like flat lines.
Yeah, I always buy them in twos because they run out of paint really quick.
Yeah, we have Posca paint pens, but the brush tip is not good for that.
Yeah, no, these are like acrylic paint. These are nice.
Yeah, Posca. I think Posca has some acrylics or water based.
No, the ones that have water based.
Okay. So here I weathered everything, put paint on, scratch it off, and on to the final shots. Enjoy.
Somebody likes the Green Ranger.
It's funny, that's not even the whole collection.
Jeez.
So I want to do some zoom in shots just to show all the grime. We wanted to do this with no grime, but had to do it.
It always looks better with grime.
I had to add the blood of the blood of the putties. Well, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button,
and come on back for the next build.